Hey, what's up everybody, Rye here, and welcome back to some more Loren, the Amazon Princess. Skip that. I maxed out my town fame, bought some new items. I'm surprised how outdated some of my equipment was. Like, God forbid, she still has bracers that are like that. Same with him, but I've kind of improved in terms of what they have. At least this way, they should be less squishy, so... yeah, I think we're ready to go and move on to one of these areas. Which one, though? Let's go to Grand Tree. What the fuck? Why do... oh, I was doing a magic competition in Lothar. Shit. Skip. Holy shit. No wonder I was getting my ass kicked. Alright, Loren and Saren have to be in the party. That much we know. Mesfit, Draco, Dora, and Chambara. Is Loren really not... shit. Alright, I'm good with that. Now we can move on. They breached the forest as they would normally, but the elves were highly on edge. Mirth's flower was the only thing that let them pass through unharmed. Saren felt uncomfortable with the tension in the air. Even the trees seemed to have burning eyes that followed him as he walked. It only got worse as they walked into Grand Tree. All of the residents stopped to scowl at the human party members. It wasn't long before the elves began to shout awful things at them. Filth! Go back to your blood capital! They were close to Mirth's residence when someone shouted a war cry behind them. They turned to see an enraged elf charging a mukiki with a long blade. He managed to parry the elf's attack with a loud clank. Wait, I thought he was going for a mukiki. The other elves watching started hollering indistinguishably, but almost as if they were rooting for Saren's death. It was chaos then. Other elves swarmed the group and they fought back. Shit. Sorry, Mirth, but I'm gonna have to really put the beating down on your group here. I hope you understand. Alright, demon form. Ooh. Her swamp magic really worked. Okay, so water. Utilize water. On the bright side, their damage output is pretty minuscule. Jesus Christ, they hit all of us. Draco, make them burn.
I hope this is slight.
That's so terrible considering, you know, they live in a forest. Alright, Mesfit. Damn. At least these things are easy. Holy shit.
What did you think of those fireworks?
Well, we've managed to fend them off so far. The elves stopped shouting when Saren plunged his sword deep in the belly of the last attacker. It was quiet while he died. You took my brother! You killed him! You... Murderers! Murderers! He attacked us first! But that didn't stop the mob of elves from grabbing Saren by his hair and yanking him into submission. The rest of the party members were held at weapon point and escorted deeper into the forest. We did nothing wrong! Free us! They were dragged in front of a familiar tree. Elders, we have criminals for judgment! A group of old elves gave their attention to the group. Where the hell is Mirf? Their crime? Self-defense! Quiet! What is this? Loren? Saren? To their relief, Mirf appeared from the inside of the tree and rushed forward. Please, set this matter straight. These people are not our enemies. Release them. They have murdered one of our own. We were attacked. I was too strong. Murderer! No! Elders, you are not thinking clearly. All you see before you is a human and not a person much like you. Your laws clearly have accommodations for those who acted in self-defense. But that does not matter now. I invoke my right to pardon them and all of Loren's group. So says the forest. All of the elves murmured unpleasantly, upset with the turn of events. You know, I am surprised they're not reacting to Mesfit, a dark elf being in the forest. You have never once exercised that power in your reign as Elder Druid. You insult us by using it now. I'd rather insult you than take an innocent life. The elders silently seethed until they finally waved for the guards to release Saren. You have your pardon. Take your humans and your enemies. The crowd dispersed, leaving the group alone with Mirf by the large tree. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be alive. Loren helped Saren from his bindings. The elders, they will not listen to reason. I have exhausted all of my resources, all of my magic, and every ounce of persuasion in me, but they still refuse to believe that the humans did not start this war. They wish to see the human race extinct so badly? I hardly think that is a fair statement, given how the Empire has made several actual movements to cleanse the world of the elves. Calm yourselves. Do not forget that our goal is peace between your two races. I apologize. The truth of the matter is that the elders cannot believe that the demons would instigate the war. They believe they are not capable of such a plan, as the only time in history they were ever clever enough was under the rule of Foss. Ain't that what the Archwizard kept yapping about? Foss has returned and is controlling them again? I've told them the theory that Foss has returned, but they refuse to believe that too. Why the blast not? Because of the manner that Foss was originally defeated. He is a possessed suit of armor, and when he was first defeated in the Old War, his armor was entombed and sealed permanently. Is it possible that the seals have failed? The seals were made by men. Only the gods have perfection in what they do. We need your people to end this war and make a treaty with the Empire. What will it take? The elders are not fools and will see reason in time. They are frightened at the moment, so I believe if we show them solid proof that Foss has risen again, then they will reconsider this war. All we have to do is prove that Foss is alive without a doubt. Oh, that's going to be easy. But those old guys made sure that would never happen, didn't they? I clicked out of the window, my bad. That is why the elders cannot believe he has reincarnated. It is difficult for me to believe, too. Wasn't that old guy talking about how he defeated Foss back then? I'm pretty sure he said something like that in between all the blathering and accusing me of stuff. Yes, Apollomestos did say he brought down that demon once. He may know more about proving his existence. Let's go find him, then. Jesus! I'm pretty sure I can't really raise my fame here anymore. Alright, let's go to Grimoire. The party used their medallion to pass the new security post into the heavily guarded city of Grimoire. Even though they presented the medallion to the gate guards, They had to detain the elves in the party before letting Loren and the others through. To their dismay, the elves were asked to wait with the guard until Loren's return. Ray and Draco were escorted away reluctantly with a promise from Loren that they would be found again soon. They asked around for the old wizard's home and found the Grand Wizard's Tower for an immediate audience. Maybe we should have came here first.
You've come.
How did the council react to the news of the demon treachery? Not well, I'm afraid. As I expected, they refused to acknowledge that the elves may not have attacked first. Wow! Sing the same fucking tune, man! I have had no luck with the Forest Elders either. Our two nations dearly wish to be at war, it seems. How can we convince the people so determined to see what they want to see? Do I need to speak to the council myself? The council is a lost cause. It is full of dying, greedy politicians who are only interested in their own personal glory, rather than the actual good of the nation. Do not forget that you are a councilman too. I was a council member, as the Archwizard. I am no longer. Why? What happened? I was discharged from the council not too long ago. I am lucky to have not been shackled in a dungeon as well. Any implication that the council is mistaken is considered treason, however true. Well, I can't say that they don't sound right for the Empire. They just toss you out on your bum if you so much as look at them funny. I've said it before and I will say it again. Vigilance is the only way to survive in today's dark times. They've stripped me of my title to keep their ranks loyal. Unfortunately, they have made a grave mistake this time. They dishonor you and that's all you got to say? They were just being vigilant? So how do we get the Empire on our side if not through the Council? We must appeal to the army generals themselves. There are two major figures in the Empire's military that, if swayed to our cause, could easily unite all the soldiers under our banner as well. Who are they? Where will we find them? General Astran and General Semail are who we should seek. Sir Astran is the lower-ranking general, so we should approach him first. Fine. Where is he now? That is difficult to say. Since I am no longer a man of power here in Grimoire, I do not have access to that information. So we have to do this the hard way. I can say that Lord Ashran and I fought Foss together in the old war. He was very young, but if there was one thing that was clear about him, it was that he was full of ideals. He was a passionate man who believed deeply in justice and fought for what was right. Without him, we might not have defeated the demons. I know that if we show him that the elves are not his enemy, he will not lead a war against them. This is fact. Jesus. Show him the elves are not his enemy? How would we do that? The problem is, the elves consider the Empire their enemy as it stands, so it cannot be a simple thing to prove if both sides are still battling each other. Therein lies the dilemma. We have to think of something. We have no more time to waste. While I have your attention, Archwizard, we need to speak to you about another matter concerning the war. We know you fought the demon Foss in the old war, so you are the most knowledgeable source on him that we know. What do you wish to know? We need to prove that he's back from the dead because the elves won't stop the war otherwise. What would you suggest? Foss is comprised of an unrivaled suit of armor. What you may not know is that the armor requires all of the pieces to be together to summon Foss's spirit. Reassembling the armor would revive Foss. That's a scary thought. You must know, however, that his armor is indestructible. The only way to keep him from being reanimated is to keep the pieces of his suit far away from each other. That is all the security this world has been afforded? Just keeping the parts separate? It is no great wonder that he happens to walk again. Mind you, we used everything in our power to make sure that the pieces were sealed away permanently. If the seals were permanent, then how could he possibly be alive? Good question. Apollomesha was silent for a long moment, unable to admit that his magic might have failed. Foss is a greater demon than we could have imagined. He is capable of tricking all of us, it seems. I do not know how else to bring him down, but at least our previous method worked for some time. You must admit that the world has been free of Foss's existence for a while thanks to the Archwizard. We cannot deny the service that Apollomesho and his team have given us, and they are due quite a bit of respect. But the matter now is how we prove to the Forest Elders that he is alive again. We could fight him. If it only takes getting the pieces of the armor together again to reanimate him, then wherever they were stored must have been breached, right? We can prove that. That is an idea. We can go to one of the tombs where a piece of his armor is kept and see if it is missing. Are the elders going to come with us all the way there? That's not necessary. The party jumped and looked to the ceiling, clearly hearing Ray's voice. In the next moment, they saw him drop down to the floor, wiping his hands clean. Mirf can just use her power of farsight to share her eyes with the elders. How did you get in here? Trade secret. Sorry. Mirf? Yes, I do have the ability to let them see what I see. This is the best idea we have at the moment, so I think we should go through with it. Where's Draco? Does that sound good, Majesty? Very well. If this is the only way to convince your elven leaders to stop this war, then we will rely on Apollomesho to show us where Foss's armor should be. In interest of stopping the bloodshed, I will not object. The pieces of Foss were entombed in the mountains, so we will need to find one of them. I'm sorry, Archwizard, but I can tell you right now that just one tomb will not be enough to convince the elders otherwise. Apollomesho narrowed his eyes and gripped his staff tighter. If we must, we will travel to as many tombs as necessary. I pray your elves regain your senses quickly, as there are more important matters. I will work only as their vessel. It is not up for me to decide, so you needn't look at me that way. Let's find these tombs before this war destroys us all. And we got a Apollomesho in our group. I keep mispronouncing his name. Then again, I mispronounce a lot of people's names. You are a human, correct? You do not look like a child of the Amazons. I am half Amazon. You look full-blooded. Odd. My father was an Empire soldier. What? How did that even come to pass? That is unheard of. You can apply for citizenship when we are next in Grimoire and file grievance against these Amazons. Their behavior has gone unchecked for too long. What do you mean by that? You just informed me that the Amazons had imprisoned a man, and it is unfortunate that it has waited this time long to come to light. I wonder how many more soldiers we have lost to them. Consider yourself under my care now, and you will be returned to the Empire where you belong.